Who are you? And how do you find out who you are? By paying very close attention to what you think and what you do and the reasons for the things that you do. For instance, the motivations behind things. Are you doing something to prove a point to somebody? Are you doing something to fit in with a certain social group or a set of peers? Are you doing something because you want to do it? Or are you doing something because you think other people expect you to do that? See, when you live a life of trying to meet expectations of other people, you're not really being yourself. So, who are you? Who are you when you are not being yourself? Who am I when I'm not myself? That's a strange thing to ponder. And I don't really have any answers to that. Who am I when I'm not myself? Well, I suppose I'm a mixture of everyone. I'm a mixture of everyone I've met, everyone who's had an influence upon me. And I think that's ultimately what it all is, isn't it? It's the people who influence you in life. Your friends, your family, your colleagues. You know, all of these people who play an important part in your life shape the very way you think, and they have a bigger impact upon you than you actually think, because of them you see the world in a slightly different way. You see the world in a way in which you have to adhere to some kind of vision or expectation of who you are or who you should be. So you adapt and modify your behaviour in order to appear to be the very thing that you think these people expect you to be. So who are you? When you take that all away, can you take that all away? Is it even possible to take that all away? Because we all do things like this. We all modify our behaviour to fit in with people, you know. We have to, you know, go to work if we don't like people. We can't just be mean to people or unpleasant to people. We have to make an effort to fit in and to get along with people. And that doesn't necessarily mean we'll have to stop being ourselves. But we've got to work out who ourselves actually is first. And I don't think many people take the time to work that out. We just go through life, doing the things we do in life, you know, our jobs, our play, meeting our friends, you know, being influenced in all manner of ways, and getting on with life. And nobody actually stops to think about who they really are and what it is they really want. We've all got these ideas of what we think we want, but this is another thing, isn't it? You know, the media's portrayal of things and marketers, you know, attempts to manipulate you into believing you need a certain product in order to be happy. You know, on a day-to-day basis, we're bombarded with information from people, from companies, you know, from all manner of things, and as an attempt to coerce us into something, manipulate us into something, to alter our way of thinking, to be more socially cohesive. Is that even a thing? Can it be socially cohesive? No, it's someone's idea of what social cohesion is. It's somebody else's opinion of how you should live your life, and you're living up to it by buying into it. And yeah, we all have to have nice things. There's nothing wrong with having nice things. We all like nice things. We need a nice, comfortable life in order to be happy. Which is why when things are getting difficult, you see an increase in mental health problems, especially in the Western world. You don't see so much in the Eastern world, or, you know, in like India, where people don't have as many luxuries as we have here, you know, and yet are still happy. I think there's something to do with the work balance ratio and how the greed of capitalism is affecting us all. You know, when you realise that you're a pawn in a game which ensures that the people at the top continue to get rich and exploit you in a way to continue that wealth. It's a strange place to be, because human beings are altruistic by nature. We like to help, we look after each other. But in a capitalist world, you can't really look after each other. You have to be in it for yourself. You have to be in it for what you can get out of it. So you have to sell a product way more than, you know, its actual value, in order to live that nice, comfortable lifestyle that you deserve and should have anyway. So who are you? Who are you after all of these influences upon you? Can you separate yourself from the influences? Can you find who you really are in amongst this massive array of information which is just thrown at you every single day, and the opinions of other people, the expectations of other people? Who are you when you stop trying to live up to those? A criminal? A lot of the time, yeah, you could be branded as a criminal. You could be branded as crazy and insane for thinking in a way that society in general doesn't think. Because people generally don't. They just get on with their life and they do things. They don't stop and take the time to think about it and think about its impact upon their mental health and the mental health of other people. Not to mention the actual physical effects it can have on you. No, people don't take that time. Life's too short and they're too busy. We've got too much to do. We've got bills to pay, for goodness sake. I've got to buy a new car, I've got to pay for that. I've got clothes to buy, to get to work in. Get to work in my clothes, yeah. That's pretty good, that, actually. Don't want to go to work naked. No. But yeah, who are you? Who are you without all of the impacts of society? Is there such a person? Would you actually know unless you took yourself off to live as a hermit for, what, 6 months, a year? Would you actually know who you were until you did something like that? Because that's been done. There's been experiments done where people have taken themselves off, lived a life of solitude, or, you know, lived for 6 months in solitude without speaking to other people, just to see what kind of effects it had on their mentality. And it had huge effects on their mentality. Some people didn't want to come back. They wanted to stay away from society. Where you live in a world where you no longer use words, you have no need to communicate with anyone, so you don't need to label everything you see or everything you do. The very foundation of your thoughts changes, because a lot of us think in words. I think in words. Sometimes I think in pictures, but a lot of the time I think in words. A lot of the time I'm having conversations in my head with myself about things that will never happen. You know, so I think a lot in words, and a lot of people think in words. So when you take yourself out of society where words are necessary, and take yourself out to a place where words no longer serve any purpose, completely alters your thought processes. And that's what people have found out. And this is the funny thing about society and living within society, is that it impacts you in a far greater way than you understand. So who are you? Take all of that away, and who are you? Have a think on it, because I'm still trying to work it out myself.